Hey y'all, it's Amanda, and we are back in the backyard today doing several small tasks in the garden. I really like to cluster these smaller tasks together because then I feel like I've accomplished more, which is really lovely. I hope you all are enjoying how I'm formatting these videos. Now, they're much different than what I did in the past. I talked during all my videos in the past, but truthfully, I've really been enjoying just having my headphones on. I'm currently obsessed with the singer Ray, spelled Raye, and so I'm listening to her, and I've just been so much more productive and then just doing voiceovers later. So I hope you guys are enjoying this. I am starting by putting in some Mission Yellow and some Cocoa Yellow marigolds that I started from seed inside. I like to use these varieties for cut flowers, and so I'm working them into this garden bed, which used to have ranunculus in it. It now has peppers on one side and will have the marigolds on the other. Mission yellow marigolds produce large, fully double, bright yellow blooms on sturdy, upright plants. They grow about 24 to 30 inches tall and thrive in full sun with well-draining soil. Heat tolerant and reliable, they bloom all summer and are great for beds and cutting. Cocoa yellow marigolds are tall African marigolds with strong stems and fully double yellow flowers. They grow about 24 to 36 inches tall, making them excellent for cut flower production and garden back borders. They thrive in full sun and are heat tolerant and grown as annuals in all zones. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put up my armadillo security. I have these little bitty fences to go around my raised beds, which is where the armadillos are really like to dig. I think it's because there's a really good water source there from all the drip irrigation, and the soil is soft because these are raised beds, and armadillos are super lazy animals. So they're not going to do anything that's really difficult for them. So putting these little fences, it's just not worth it for them. They'll just go somewhere else. Now, I am watering in all of these seedlings. Today, when I am gardening, it is going to be 91 degrees, which is insane considering that later this weekend we're going to have a high in the 50s. So it's just that time of year where the Texas weather is just a giant seesaw, and it is just swinging back and forth to extremes. But with that temperature coming about today, I wanted to make sure these were really well watered in. Now, with that really extreme weather temperature today, I am watering all my seedlings and cuttings that I have outside. I don't have that many left to plant, which is pretty awesome. The seedlings I'm watering, that big tray is impatiens that will all go in the shade garden to fill it with lots of beautiful color. And then I'm also watering some basil. I recently started a bunch of vinca, more marigolds, and something I can't remember at the moment inside. Those will be planted out in early summer, which is great. Now I am shifting over to all of the ranunculus corms that I harvested. I don't leave my ranunculus in ground here in the North Texas area. They just don't do as well. They can rot very easily. And so I wait till they all start dying back and then I lift them. And when I lift them, I put them in a tray and allow them to dry for at least a week outside. I have them in the shade, so I don't have them in direct sun. And then I come back and I cut off the dried out dead foliage, and then I drop the corms in a tray. And then after that, I just store that tray inside until come fall. And in the fall, I will replant all of these ranunculus corms. I don't divide out my corms. I leave them in big giant chunks, and that totally works for me, and I love it because I get really big, beautiful blooms. Okay, one of my least favorite garden chores is staking or tying things up or down depending on the plant. And it is something that I avoid like the plague, but truthfully, there's several areas that really need to be taken care of. So I am tying back that Eden rose that is covered in thrips. It just didn't do well this season, but there's always next season. And then I'm installing some stakes beside these giant sunflowers because once they get to about the 4 foot mark, and these guys will get 6 to 8 feet tall. Once they get to about the 4 foot mark, they start leaning, and we are expecting some storms later this week. So I'm installing the stake, and then I'm using some Velcro in order to attach it. I like that because the Velcro is reusable over the years, which I think is great. Okay, we are moving over to my tomato bed, and I've built kind of just my own decorative trellis with old branches. And all of these tomatoes in here are indeterminate. They are all cherry tomato type of things. So I'm going in and I'm securing the vines to the branches, and then I'm also cutting off the lower leaves and any suckers I see in there. The suckers are like additional branches that the tomato tries to put off, and it will kind of create this whole other plant. Now, a lot of these suckers, you can try to root them inside in water, directly in the ground, and try to create more plants from them. My bed is filled, so I'm good with what I have. But I also don't like any foliage to touch the ground, so you'll see me cutting off a lot of that as well. It just helps reduce the chances of any kind of bacteria, fungus, mildew, things like that. But anyway, I'm just going through and attaching these to the branches. I will be excited when they really start growing up over the branches. Now, I know that today we're going to hit 90 degrees. Once we start consistently hitting above 90 degrees on a daily basis, you will see me throw some shade cloth over the top of these branches. My friend Nick, he gardens in Georgia and he grows tomatoes beautifully. And he said, my biggest issue with tomatoes for me is that I am not utilizing a shade cover when it gets really intense. He said that will help and keep production going. So we're going to be doing this year, and I will be sure to post about it when the time comes. Okay, so my roses bloomed incredibly early this year, and truthfully, they're all finishing up at this point. So it is time for me to go little by little and start pruning through my roses. I like to cut off the spent blooms and I cut them right above a set of 5 leaves. And that really encourages a lot of growth throughout my roses. So this particular rose is an America climbing rose, and I am working to train it over my shade garden entrance. And so after I finish trimming this up, you'll see me utilizing some more of that Velcro to secure branches against that entrance to the shade garden. Okay, I'm shifting over just to the left of that climbing rose, and I'm trimming back my peonies, just removing the spent blooms. I don't want this peony working on creating any kind of seeds. I want it focused on the foliage and making the tuber beneath much stronger and healthier. I'm also going to do a little bit of pruning on the Julia Child rose right beside it, and then I'm going to pull a few weeds as well. Okay, snapdragons are just going bonkers right now. I am literally harvesting multiple times a week at this point, and you're going to see me harvesting right here, and I will harvest about 30 to 40 blooms, which is crazy. But the more I harvest, the more blooms will come. If I allow these blooms to die back on the stem, on the plant, then that will signal the plant that it's at its end of its life and that it needs to focus on creating seeds. And I do not want that at this point. I want to keep these producing as long as possible. I do think that I probably need to apply a liquid fertilizer in the next week or so just to give it a little boost because this bed has been producing so much. Okay, I love when I have this bouquet all gathered up and beautiful. I brought them inside and enjoyed them. I'm also going to have a little bit of video showing some of my dahlias that are beginning to bloom, which is really exciting. But I hope you guys have enjoyed today's video, just a few small tasks throughout the garden. As always, she's a mad gardener or a decorator or anything else that she wants to be. Thanks, y'all.